look fantastic.
Yeah, and they did it on some crazy picks. Cassiopeia, Kale, they came through, and in the end, they dominated the team fight. So much damage that it freed up Jin Jiao. All of a sudden, not the primary threat. Amazing J trying to dive on other people. The Jinx just able to get all this work done from that, like, 1,000 range or whatever the heck she has in the rocket launcher form. Cleaned up the last team fight, and they're able to move in for a nice win.
Yeah, just too many carries there for EP to handle, but we'll see how they do take themselves into this third game. Sorry, EP on the blue side, ADG over on the red. We've got Rek'Sai Riven again banned by EP, consistent bans here up against ADG. We've got Maokai and Azir this time banned away, and the Cassiopeia banned away for EP. Can't really blame them.
No, neither can I, because Raphael got bullied in lane. That was pretty mean. Principal office. For Bamey in that mid lane,
Detention.
But detention. Not able to get much done on the Lulu. Didn't actually like the pick in general. Was a little bit confusing in the team comp, I believe. So, see what they go to next time. I think that Raphael, he needs to be on a threat if they're going to be successful.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to ban away LeBlanc, because EP have done it twice, but no, ADG will ban Xerath instead, almost away from themselves, although Raphael, a good Xerath player as well. Lots of picks to take away, and it is the first pick, LeBlanc.
LeBlanc coming through as a first pick. Got to be careful of running that many threats now, because she'll make you pay getting in there and assassinating one of your star players. And we'll see exactly what Ray and Bamey play this game in response to that, because you feel their picks are kind of connected to each other. Wanted to get in there, heavy damage on the Cassiopeia. Okay, I'll play a little bit more supportive. Still a lot of damage in the top lane coming out of the Kale, but I've got that ultimate to keep you safe. They're kind of like a 1-2 punch.
Yeah, certainly feels like, you know, they're a duo together, and then you staple the other three together, and they're a trinity that sort of carry the team through the rest of the game. Even in game one, where Ray was playing Nah, he was getting ults in and Bamey was following up, not the jungler.
Yeah, exactly right, and that's why it's kind of fun to watch these guys play. As we see a Thresh and an Elise be picked up here in the jungle. Was waiting for the Elise to become a little bit more popular. The more tanky people get, the better off Elise comes in the meta, just because of how a Q works.
Yeah, lots of good pick potential here as well for ADG. So I like it, a bit more aggressive, more snowball. They can get ahead in their lanes once again. They can start to really snowball the mid game, get aggressive vision out, and then constantly pick people off.
Yeah, and Drizzle once again hovering his Lee Sin. He played it well. And a pick away Nah in the top lane coming through from Amazing J. Of course, he's able to play it himself, the mini Nah specialist.
Yep, a great at mini Nah. Apparently that's ADG's specialty as well. Don't forget with their AD carry Nah game. But that was, of course, a different AD carry. And listen, Nah, I like it.
Yeah, so at least he went off last game. He picked up a couple of kills that maybe you should have even let go over. First one to Amazing J, I actually think got them a little bit far behind, because if that had been over on the Jax, maybe Jax bullies out the top laner Kale a little bit more, but wasn't able to get much done because he was in a little bit of a gold sink in that game, Amazing J.
Yeah, and we can see ADG going to consider their next few picks as well. Without the Sejuani, maybe they don't feel confident going into the Jinx, but this is some weird stuff from ADG. Sivir, Lulu, their third and fourth picks.
Yeah, this is crazy now coming through. It might be a top lane Lulu, could be mid lane. Definitely won't be support, but we'll have to see how that works out. Sivir, that's a very strange pick coming. Whoa.
Yep, Zhang insta-locks the Draven. Jana's going to join them as well. That's a nice counter pick to Sivir.
Yeah, it certainly is. You can smack her around in the laning phase. That now automatically becomes a lane swap. There is no way you put a Sivir anywhere near an early game Draven.
And I wonder what ADG are thinking here with their solo laners. They need another damage threat here. Right now, as it stands, they're very low on damage towards the later stages of the game. Hecarim wouldn't be too bad. He's a decent carry. Lulu needs someone to support here, and it's weird to see Lulu not paired with a hyper carry, but ADG clearly valuing the utility.
Yeah, definitely want to get that in there. Hecarim is a very good top laner with Lulu, synergized as well. Able to get the knock up. Kale, I don't agree with the pick at all. That is such a squishy lineup. Amazing J will be able to have his way, but that is what they've gone for.
Yeah, that should be raised Kale once again. And honestly, I can understand why you don't like the pick, but ADG really need a high damage laner somewhere, and it's Kale that they've looked to.
Yeah, that is what they've gone for. I just think that Hecarim could have been that high damage. When you look at the backline coming through from Energy Pacemaker, if you jump on top of Draven, there's not really much you can do. We've seen that Hecarim can solo people out, not to mention the fact that you got the Lulu ultimate to come through and knock everyone up. There were some answers there with the Hecarim. Kale, on the other hand, is going to mean that there is zero frontline. They've got an Elise who by herself isn't good enough in the front line, doesn't have any AoE CC, just has a Cocoon. Unless they get some great picks in this mid game, it's going to go downhill quick.
Yeah, we'll go through the lineups. Na versus Kale once again here. Ray will see if he can bully again there on the Kale. Lisa versus Elise, a very classic jungle matchup.
Yeah, it certainly is. We've gone back in time, seasons past pastry time. It is the LeBlanc versus Lulu. Once again, very standard counter matchup coming through from Bamey. We'll be able to knock LeBlanc out of a lot of her damage.
Speaking of counter matchups, Draven versus Civil, one of the best matchups here for Draven. Arguably better than Jinx and Janna Thresh there. Bit more aggression from Shine. His Thresh was wonderful, but ADG have one plan here, Spawn. They have to start snowballing and get picks because that's all their team comp does.
Yeah, if they do not get picks in the mid game, if they're not able to fast push down structures with the Sivir and rotate around the map, I actually don't know what another clear win condition is until maybe super late where their damage becomes king, because otherwise, there's no front line.
Yeah, I mean, EP are not lacking for frontline or damage or any tools here moving to the later stages. So, going to be a pretty one-track thing here. We'll see if ADG can do it. We're about to get into Game 3. And welcome onto the Rift for our third game here between EP and ADG. We've split the first two, with EP winning Game 1 and ADG winning Game 2. They were very close first two games, but with ADG's draft this time, it is go hard or go home.
Certainly is Bizarro League of Legends coming through as maybe Amazing J's being caught.
Going to take a couple autos here. At least not quite committing to the Cocoon just yet, as Drizzle will zone them away, but ADG's aggression and power in numbers should get them some aggressive wards down.
Yeah, so they at least get some aggressive wards coming through on the other side of the map. You see Raphael returning the favor.
Very deep ward there from Xu Xiaoyan. And again, wanting to lane swap away from the Draven. That is step one here for ADG.
Yeah, it certainly is. So they don't want to run head-to-head in that one. They've got a deep ward there, so they'll wait the Draven at the turret, maybe look to swap back. There's a ward in the lane down the bottom. That's just to see whether one of the top laners rotates down extremely early. But you can see everyone kind of staying off the map, not wanting to show themselves. Because on the side of EP, they really want to stand in lanes. They don't get it.
And I think they might have just seen Amazing J's. Now they'll definitely see him as he walks up in there. And they'll get the lane swap that they want. Will ADG. Draven looking for that counter match and does not find it.
Yeah, not able to get it yet, but we'll still be able to do fine at the level 6 mark. So we'll see how quickly they swap back and whether they push out this lane. Looks like they are going to, because straight away they stop the Krugs and they're willing to go straight to lane.
Yeah, looking to maybe get a freeze down there as well, but we are going to have something different for EP in the top side though. ADG going to try and zone out Amazing J, and he didn't start on a jungle camp there with Drizzle, so going to get zoned heavily from this top side.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's also got a health crystal there, so probably a first items Balmy Cinder coming through. Just for some mid-game aggression on that Sunfire Cape, going to be able to be picked up this time. Definitely will not be the jungle item because he hasn't got Smite, not available.
No Smite this time, so Skirmisher Saber now probably an overreach even for someone as creative as Amazing J, as Drizzle fishing for a level 2 gank here in the mid lane, but Lulu pretty hard to gank.
Yeah, it certainly is, and while he waits here, giving up control of the blue buff on the top side, we'll be able to rotate through for the enemy's blue buff, and you see a fast push started here for Energy Pacemaker. They're trying to get an early advantage, and I agree with this. I don't think the zone is a good, the freeze is a good tactic for either team, because we've seen that if they're able to get ahead early, they do more work.
Yeah, it's hard to freeze with Draven anyway, just because you want to keep hitting things to catch your axes, so you're going to naturally want to push anyway, so you might as well get it over and done with.
Yeah, certainly. So he's able to get in there, catch more spinning axes, get that bounty up from his passive nice and early, continue to shove out. Now they're sending a second person probably up into that top lane as we see Shu recall. Gonna go send Amazing J some help, and that's pretty much an AD versus AD matchup now.
Yeah, I mean, again, we joked about the ADG AD carry Na game that their old AD carry RQ played, but now we're actually going to have Elise coming in, Ray's joining in as well. A good polymorph there from Bamey as Repel is going to move in. Good slow moving in. Cocoon just missing there after the flash, but Amazing J on the top side gets exhausted. One more order from Sivir, and first blood goes to ADG.
Yeah, and you just think, why is he moving up that far? The freeze is only going to get deeper now as he falls down. Janna was heading into his lane. There was an answer coming, but a little bit of impatience from Amazing J means that he falls.
You can see Jin Zhao going to hold the wave even further back now. Going to start to trim it. That's a massive blue stack there, so it'll push in towards the turret. And Thresh even leaving now might even start roaming.
Yeah, he has the opportunity to, because as you said, that is a huge creep wave. The only danger is Sivir didn't trim very well, so if she wants to keep it, they're going to take a lot of damage. Probably has to let it hit the turret. And there it goes, maybe.
This is very sneaky, though, from ADG. Yep, does hit the turret. So misstep slightly there from Jinzhao, who actually got quite low regardless. Drizzle, level 2, looking for a gank in the top side to bring Amazing J back into the lane. But Dragon's going to go over to ADG, stealing it away in the lane swap situation.
Yeah, able to get it done there. You see the face check coming through from Thresh, not really fearing much. And that's still a frozen lane. Pastry time. It's not going to hit the turret.
Nope, Cannon Creep does get in there, but should be okay for now. Shine zoning everyone else out, and Amazing J all of a sudden real far behind as Raphael gets good damage onto Bamey, but Lulu should be just fine, especially when she gets her ultimate.
Yeah, exactly right. And Bamey actually winning CS after that gank came through the blue Raphael's flash. So once again, lane's going in ADG's favor, even after the early push came through from Draven.
And that's sort of what we expected from this team. They were noted as one of the best early game snowball teams, usually from strong laning. And after we've seen Ray and Bamey play 2 games, it makes sense. They're very strong. And even Jinzhao's laning has been excellent in the first 2 games as well. You can see Ray going to take away some jungle camps. The Grump, pretty strong here, has to be careful.
Oh,
but
poor Grump.
Good work by Ray. Just managing to oust the monster there in the jungle, but ADG continuing to get their freeze on, starting to push the wave in, but a big stack of minions is going to arrive quite late, and ADG might even look to dive or possibly just push the turret.
Yeah, no, they're definitely looking for a dive. They're bringing Elise around the side. There's 2 members there to try and trim this wave. So they won't actually go for the dive in the end, and Amazing J, he might actually be able to pick up some CS.
Yeah, good presence by Drizzle. Amazing J will finally get some CS under his belt and experience as well. Just hit level 3 at 6 minutes in, so some very valuable stuff picked up there. But ADG kind of done with the freezing portion now, going to start hard pushing into the top.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Sivir didn't do it even earlier, as we see Zhang out in the bottom lane, starting to push out his wave on Draven as well.
That is some sick axe catching as well, but Ray meets the wave in the turret. They haven't quite pushed enough of the turret health down in the bottom side of the map, so Ray going to pick up a lot of extra CS and experience here as a result. Draven's looking strong, goes back and actually buys a BF sword, but ADG have navigated away from the Draven very well.
Yeah, they certainly have. Raphael goes deep, gets some good harass down. But Lulu, so tanky with that shield, didn't even have to expend ultimate, which is available. You feel that there is no kill potential for Raphael in this lane.
And Bamey with Ignite, especially if Elise comes to visit again. It's Amazing J gets hooked away, flayed back once again, and almost a kill. Sivir Boomerang Blade, not quite enough damage.
Yeah, and finally, they're just going to get Amazing J out of the lane. They're bringing up their duo to try and pressure. Need to make sure that they can't shove this one out, because if ADG get the lane swap back again, you feel like Amazing J's game is probably over.
Yeah, it's just a little tricky here, but Draven so strong now with the BF sword in this lane before Sivir's had a chance to shop. Shine posturing aggressively, but ADG have pushed it out. That's going to give them a swap back if they want it.
Yeah, it certainly is, and wow, get in there, Face Shoe. You've got a BF sword to a Doran's blade. Might get caught out here, but they should be able to win the team fight still.
They are going to dive back in, and maybe a mistake there from ADG. Going to force the Sivir ultimate out. They tried to go for a pick. It was very sneaky, but it'll cost them a lot.
I can't believe how passively Shu just played that. You have a Draven with a BF sword. Get up there and trying to be some proactive play. They're not going to win this game. They're already 1,000 gold behind at 7 minutes by just being outlaned.
They're just the first blood on all the rotations, giving them nice advantages across the board. AD carries are fairly even as Ray teleports again perfectly to meet the creep wave in the top.
Yeah, so they, in the end, shove it out. They get the back. And this is just bad news for Energy Pacemaker. Once again, Amazing J's lane is going to be a 2v1, and there is no answer currently for that. Nah, he can be dove. He's so far behind. Ray, he's about to pick up level 6. He'll have his ultimate available. That Kayle, completely safe in this lane, even 2v1.
Yeah, and really strong movement here from ADG, navigating wonderfully in the early levels to get themselves a nice advantageous situation. 1,000 gold doesn't seem like a lot, but at 8.5 minutes, it's quite a lead.
Yeah, it certainly is very impressive. And you see the BF sword now responded in the bottom lane. Moby Boots picked up for Shine, so he's going to be able to get around the map. And there's just bad news, really, for Energy Pacemaker. It's so early, so probably will, like, they have options to be able to pull it back. They're just not making any proactive moves, though.
Not quite yet. They're starting to fast push the top side, which is why Shine has gone back and is actually rejoining his top laner now to form a new duo lane. Jinzhao is hard freezing in the bottom lane once again, so Amazing J relegated to jungling, but look at those items. No smite this time, so can't jungle with a machete. Double Ruby Crystal cloth armor. That screams emergency.
Yeah, it certainly does. That's like gold efficiency, bang for buck. Like, let's try and get anything out of this early game, because he's just not in a position to be able to play League of Legends as it was, so going to have to just avoid laning for as long as possible, get gold where he can. But anytime he shows in that bottom lane, you feel Sivir going to just punish.
Now, Amazing J coming down. I think he got into Mega enough on, was able to AoE the creep wave down. So has reset it now. We'll start to get a bit more breathing room here in the lane. But Sivir, not too bad 1v1 in this particular situation. So we'll see what ADG can get done with their Sivir, but right now just playing it casually, farming everybody up, but you know that the mid game is going to get real strong, and Bamey's come to the bottom lane.
Yeah, Bamey's in the bottom lane. Sivir goes aggressive, so Amazing J knows.
Yeah, Bamey is going to come through, tags him with the picks, just needs to line up the glitter lens, goes in aggressive, finally gets it. Great play there, knock up for the dive, and Jin Zhao gets the second kill.
And that's just... Amazing J, he's really struggling right now. He's just not playing the lane smart. He's overextending for CS, and he's getting very little support from his team. You feel like Energy Pacemaker as a whole have kind of just thrown him to the wolves and put everything onto Shangao's back. If he can carry on Draven, it'll be very impressive.
Yeah, and Ray gets a couple extra CS, but takes the Dark Passage out. EP finally get themselves a turret, but at 10.5 minutes in, with 2 different 2v1 lanes, and Jin Zhao, look at the response, immediately shoves out the bottom lane.
Yeah, so he shoves it out. Amazing J is half the CS of Ray right now, and there's not even that much of a discrepancy in the AD carries currently, so they've just lost out huge on the early game. They've got a turret to nothing, and they're still 1,000 gold behind.
Yeah, and Ray still on the top side, going to push things back out. Has quite a bit of gold to spend at this particular stage of the game, having held on to the double Doran's Amp Tome for quite a while. Bamey moving in for the Charles as well, and Raphael blasting one Fiendish Codex. Not your usual combination of items.
Yeah, it certainly isn't. Just wants some aggression. Feels that he has to start winning his lane. Hasn't had that advantage so far. Lulu doing completely fine against the Assassin this time. This isn't the persistent damage threat coming out of the Cassiopeia. This is a straight-up burst mage, and Lulu's always been able to deal with them handily.
Yep, EP, they're going to look in for their first dragon now. It's good rotation to the bottom side of the map, but ADG are moving in for a fight here. Raphael going to get their first, though. Dragon has gone down, and Jin Zhao doesn't pop the ult. He doesn't have it, crucially, so can't rush everyone in for the team fight.
Yeah, so no team fight going to eventuate from that. Just a dragon goes down. They top lane, once again, really far frozen in, so they can't even get Amazing J any CS there. He's once again back in the jungle.
Oh, great hook, though. Actually lands in onto Zhang. Flame moves in as well. Sivir going to come in as Elise is also down as well. And Draven, good damage, but can't quite do enough. The exhaust will save him. And Amazing J down here as well, looking for the flash. Ray also tried to answer with the port, but cancels it away. So good timing from EP, just keeps Draven alive.
Yeah, so they're able to keep Zhang Ao alive. He is the carry right now, so they need to do everything they can to ensure he's winning the lane. If that kill went across right then to Sivir, you felt that the game was slowly slipping out of reach, but they're able to equalize. Good teleports coming through here, but I'm really worried for Amazing J, man. That top lane, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, Ray looking for the Natural's Tooth again here with the Stinger, plus the Amp Turn, and not really hard pushing these waves, just kind of shoving them out gently. Again, looking maybe to slowly push into the top side of the turret. Ray is so threatening to Amazing J right now. He's almost triple the CS down of this KO.
Yeah, he certainly is. Ray is doing fantastic. Almost said Rail. That's a great name for a new champion.
That is. Well, there you go. We'll put that one in the books there, send that one through. But as we move back in, Zhang getting good farm. That's actually the best news here for Energy Pacemaker. You can see a Bloodthirster first, going to be the Crystal build coming in.
Yeah, it certainly is. And we see once again Cinderhulk being picked up for the Elise. So that item, extremely tanky. That's not anything really new. Elise used to even go Juggernaut back when the items came out because she doesn't really benefit from Magus or, of course, the Warrior enchant. Not really much coming through there, so pretty standard stuff.
Yeah, a bit more tankiness, able to dive a little more. Elise already fairly good in any sort of skirmish or tower dive situation, so just accentuate that part of her kit.
Yeah, certainly is. And you'll see actually sneaking in right now. Draven here can't really disrupt and might have a look at a Cocoon.
Bamey actually forced away, but has to line this up well. Drizzle's down here as well, so 3v3 will eventuate very soon here. Cocoon lined up beautifully loose. Now Thresh going to run in. Drizzle, though, does come through, and the lantern's gone out. He actually got Shu there, did Shine, with their hook, and Jinjo gets the first kill, but Sivir kiting away, trying to stay alive, doesn't quite, but Drizzle will go down as well.
Yeah, 2 for 1 in the end, as well as a fantastic rotation in the mid lane means Ray takes down a turret. Wow.
That was sick. Cocoon there, and then all the buttons used for Elise. Repel's out of the way, and we mentioned tower dives. Elise pretty good still.
Yeah, fantastically. There was a flash to get in range for the Cocoon. That's what really it was all about. And Xiao Yin able to pick up another kill. Another outer turret falls. 1-5, 4,000 gold the lead at 14 minutes. ADG. Fine wine, they're getting better with age.
Yeah, they are indeed, and it's a mid-game snowball that's starting to come through now. Steals away the big Krug there as well. Going to leave Shu the job of cleaning that out. Ray pushing the waves out with the Stinger. Naturals is very close, and a massive wave meets Jin Zhao in the top lane.
Yeah, everything just lining up right now for Jin Zhao after a nightmare of game 1. Just has so much at his feet right now. Game 2, got the Infinity Edge finished off, just picked up a huge creep wave. And Siva, she's going to be rocking this mid-game, especially with how not tanky Amazing J is. If I ever thought I would say that about Amazing J's Nah, she's just going to be able to take over.
Yeah, and can't even look for any sort of aggressive items. No Hex Drinker, no Phage coming through. So a Trinity Force, if he wants it, going to be far, far away. And Amazing J just has to try and farm, get the tank items up. But especially with a couple of additional damage threats, I guess at least from the top lane, sort of evening things out. Amazing J not going to be having a fun time. Still horrifically behind Ray in CS.
Yeah, certainly is. And they've put 2 people again into his lane. Poor guy just getting absolutely bullied. Should have picked Garen again. Wouldn't have happened that time.
Oh, yeah, sure. Garen definitely not going to get bullied in a 2v1 lane.
Hey, man, he's passive. Health regen.
Hey, it is good health regen. You're not wrong, as Ray has to navigate away from a 1v3, actually, as Drizzle rotates in for a gank. No gank forthcoming. No means just the tower will fall away there, but top tower looking to go down soon as well, so ADG should be back up in the advantage 3-2 as Blue Buff going to go over to Lulu as well.
Yeah, and look, Amazing J, he can't get anywhere near that turret. He's just going to be dove by the support and AD. AD is actually 2 levels higher than him right now. Nearly equal with the solo laners, and that's not at the expense of Shine, because Shine, he's even level 8.
Yes, Shine looking good. Got the Moby Bits, got his early shield down as well. Dragon, though, back in a minute. 10 going to be the next point of contention for these two teams. And Infinity Edge and the Zeal is done for Jin Zhao after a wonderful early landing phase and a couple kills donated over as well. And you look over at Draven, normally a strong matchup, but just finishing the Bloodthirster now. As Baby again gets aggressed on, but doesn't panic, doesn't even need to use the ultimate.
Yeah, nothing coming through there. So Raphael, he's getting some hurt down. He's building a CS advantage, but not the early game we're used to seeing out of the block. No roams coming through, no aggressive play, and you see the deep vision coming through from ADG. They're starting to take over the map and strangle them off farm. You can see it with the 60 CS advantage in the top lane. Siva also equaling out Draven's farm, plus you throw in the fact that there's 3 kills currently on Silver. Just fantastic news, and they've caught out Raphael.
Yeah, this is what ADG needs to do. Jin Zhao going to run straight in. Raphael flashed immediately. Flash hook does hit there onto Raphael, but he mimic distorts away. Ray will chase in. The Dark Passage, they're going to keep in. Shine really wants his kill, but ADG will give it up because Dragon's about to respawn.
Yeah, it certainly is, but they got heaps for that. They're able to grab the flash. They're able to get the ultimate, probably secure themselves the Dragon. Both teleports are available, so they can even send Ray into the top lane to get rid of any farm that they were hoping to get on the Nah. But instead, they choose to try and go for a gank on Nah. He teleports out. Good map movement from EP.
Yeah, really strong stuff. They'll get themselves the second Dragon here in this game. That was all but ADG's, but a little too bloodthirsty, you have to think, looking for a couple of extra picks. It's good, that's what their comp does, and there's still 4,000 gold ahead, but Snowballing Dragon was another way for them to keep in this, another win condition, in this game, and they're cutting themselves kind of off of it.
Yeah, so the one thing you will say is that they still have the mid-game problems. They're super strong in the mid-game, but not late.
Good Cocoon there, landing onto Amazing J, will not continue the aggression. Wild Growth used already as Xiao Yin dives in very deep onto Raphael, gets kicked away though, still fairly tanky with the Wild Growth and the Cinderhawk, and Bamey coming now as well. Shine grabs onto Amazing J, Ray's down here as well. Zhang Aldo's joining in as Shu resets with the Donor ulti. KO though dives in onto Elise, and Siva gets the first kill onto Nah. Dives forward, gets Lee Sin. Zhang Al gets wrecked there by Siva, who gets a double. And a Shu gets hooked again by Shine. Dark Passage rides them in. Shine has to be careful. Raphael almost getting the kill onto Thresh. Ignite actually almost enough on its own, but ADG playing with so much momentum.
And this is what they have to do. They're a mid-game composition. Keep up the aggressive. Wow.
Yeah, another good Cocoon. They're diving in onto Shu. They want it, but Repel will keep Elise safe, comes back down, they'll take the turret, and it's so much aggression, but it's paying off every single time.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's a measured aggression pastry time. They're prioritizing objectives still. They've got a huge wave in the bottom. Wave control's been fantastic. Ray even recognizing the fact that top wave is massive for him at the moment. He's going there to make sure it hits the turret as well. Actually just takes away the Grom. And that's a 7,000 gold lead before 20 minutes.
And that's mostly just strong rotation and really good farm from ADG. They've got 4 turrets, that's certainly helping out as well. But EP have 2 of their own, and they're even ahead in Dragons as well. It's just that ADG been able to pick up the kills, navigated wonderfully through the map to maximize their CS, and it's showing across the board.
Yeah, it certainly is. You can't fault their gameplay this time around. They got the better of the lane swap, able to keep Amazing J down, and he was the hero of Game 1. He was so far ahead on Hecarim, and once again, wasn't willing to pick it up. I really have to question the drafting phase that's coming through from Energy Pacemaker. Not able to get much done. And
Amazing J is horrifically behind in gold. 4,800 to 7,200 is the current gold difference between the top laners there. We've got Siva again going for the Phantom Mantis, so maximum damage coming through for the Infinity Edge, and back to the Hurricane here coming for Ray as well, who should have close to 100% uptime on that E once it hits level 5.
Yeah, and the problem here for Energy Pacemaker is they don't have good wave clear. LeBlanc has to wave clear with her face, which just means that anytime she dives in, there's always a threat of a Cocoon, Lulu Polymorph, something like that hitting her, blowing her up. And there's just no other wave clear to come through for the Energy Pacemaker lineup, which means that they can continue to siege on ADG's side. Sure, they're not a good late game team, but if you stay ahead 10,000 gold nearly throughout the mid game, doesn't matter how bad your team comp is, you can run around with whatever you like. You can have Eve at this point and she'll do work.
Yeah, and ADG have some strong champions in the mid game. Like we've said, I actually love the build you're on frontline from earlier as well. Shu Xiaoyin lived so long just because of Cinderhawk Wild Growth and then eventually the KL Ultimate.
Yeah, exactly right. So able to make anyone tanky as they try and go in to get a pick, but nothing forthcoming, and you see already a quarter of the health gone. Mid pushing, bottom pushing, all the waves in ADG's control, and they'll just continue to siege up.
Yeah, Ray casually, again, moving between the waves, always wants to be away from his team in the mid-game, getting a CS lead, pushing in the waves, pressuring turrets as well, and ADG plays so well as a 4-man unit. Ray, his map movement, you might think it hurts the team, but they look so together at this stage of the game.
Yeah, they certainly do. Once again, Raphael trying to dive in, nothing forthcoming, unless Amazing J does a great Ray impression and nails a 5-man Nah. I don't know how they win a team fight on Energy Pacemaker's side.
Yeah, and Raven moving to the bottom side of the map as well. Doesn't have his teleport, but it'll be back up soon. And you can tell Raphael diving in, trying to poke them off, but every time he goes in, ADG throw out some cocoons and hooks, and if one of those hits, EP will lose their LeBlanc and any hope of defending this turret.
Yeah, well, the turret will probably go down now. Once again, they clear out with LeBlanc ultimate, but that's on cooldown now next time it comes around. And meanwhile, Ray...
Oh, amazing. Actually gnaws the wave to clear it out. Very cute stuff, but Raven semi-diving Amazing J gets him to 50% health.
Yeah, and this is just shows how far Amazing J is behind. Feels he has to burn his ultimate to get it. Going all defensive items at this point, still ATCS down. And once again, sure, you clear out the wave, but what does it cost you? Now if you get dove, you don't have any utility to be able to add to a team fight. Wow.
Drizzle gets caught, Latin comes in, but Shine has to back away. Cocoon, though, will cover their retreat and buying time for Ray to push in the bottom side. They've got good damage done to their tier 2, and this tower's going to fall soon.
Yeah, it certainly is. Probably next wave. Amazing J has to go back. Top lane in the exact same situation right now. They're just wave clearing for days.
And again, Jinjiao's pretty immune to all of the LeBlanc peel coming through. Plenty of peel from the team and the spell shield helping as well. They finally break their tier 2. Ray's going to get the same in the bottom side of the map, and it's wonderful execution by ADG.
And now it really is 10,000 gold at 23 minutes. They've extended it so far. Once again, there's just not an answer out of Energy Pacemaker. They fell so far behind in this early game where it looks like they were going to be able to execute with the Draven. Draven had the early push, but Amazing J just got completely outlaned.
Yeah, I mean, it was great movement to keep the Nah down consistently. Extended that 1v2 for what felt like about 10 minutes in this game, and it's still reflected in the CS lead. Ray is closing on 100 up on this Nah.
Yeah, certainly is, and you know, Amazing J, he just misplayed the lane. We can go back to what kicked it all up. He got 1v2'd and gave up a kill when Shu was trying to move into his lane. They had support on the way. He just had to give up maybe one more wave and then would have been completely fine. Instead, Dai's Shu at that point couldn't go into the lane, and it just completely hurt them. Maybe Fifth Dragon will help, but yeah.
Good kick there from Drizzle to disengage, but he gets Polymorph there, forced to flash away, and gets chunked to 50% health. Raphael diving back in onto Shine, but pretty tanky is the thirst. Amazing J gonna try and line up the ultimate raise flank from the back, picks up Raphael, ultis himself, dives in onto Zhang Yao. He's gonna go down here. The Wild Growth will save him, ripping through everyone, and this Kale, absolutely massive, still not dead, and ADG will take a 5-0.
What a team fight coming through. Energy Pacemaker thought they had what they wanted there, but in the end, it was a great flank and their surrender.
Yeah, 25 minutes in, not even about 24 and a half, and ADG just wiped the floor with EP. Kale came in, Nash's Tooth Hurricane, and that's all she needed.
Yeah, exactly right. Able to completely smash every member. The Elise was so tanky, but once again, Jin Zhao, he's been the difference between the two games. The solo laners always look good. Jungler looks okay, but Jin Zhao, 7-1-3 that game. Once again, really stepping up in that AD carry position. And Amazing J, great first game, head in hands.
That's Zhang Yao. He is unhappy with that game. I mean, he got the counter pick, instantly locked into Draven, one of his better looking AD carries, clearly a favorite champion of his, and can't get sleepy now, buddy, because you have 2 more games to play if you want to get to the semifinal.
Yes, certainly does. So it's 1-2 now in favor of ADG. And man, they pick so weird in the draft phase, but it always works out.
I mean, we said it. Their comp only did one thing. Get to the mid-game, snowball and get picks, and then win. Yeah. And thankfully for them, that's exactly what they did.
Exactly right. We gave them a 30-minute timeout. They finished 6 minutes early.
Yeah, really nice stuff there from ADG. We'll see if they can do it again and close it out 3-1 here, because when we return from our break, we're going to our fourth game of the summer promotion.